Love Life Bluebird, the latest group in the Love Life series, has just passed its first year of being alive, or well, announced. Technically they started in May, but for all intents and purposes, their journey began when they were announced at the Love Life Asia tour in February. I've made many videos on Bluebird, either be its connection to Muse or how it's been doing content, and with the way the group is running in real time now, a lot of things can shift and change, along with being incredibly outdated. With their first live happening in less than a week, with content I'm sure will dictate the future of Bluebird, I decided to buckle in and catch up with Bluebird publicly. While I've been following it from behind the scenes, I haven't really put these thoughts into a full-fledged video format, so hey, here are some live thoughts from my catch-up with Bluebird. I actually gotta leave in a bit, so let's make this a little bit quick, and I hope Secret Sauce and the others aren't listening. I lurk your Discord. I see what you say. But unironically, really quickly, if you do want to get more info on Bluebird and discuss Bluebird with other people, the Bluebird Discord is probably the best place to... Okay, streamer, this mode, thank you. The Bluebird Discord is probably the best place to get all your Bluebird info. They've done a ton of stuff to really streamline the process into making sure that anyone can really get into this series. Like, for example, they have automatic translations for each of the tweets, stuff like that. They have structured news, stuff like that, you know, the whole 9 yards. So if you are interested, here's the Discord link right here, because everything I say isn't probably not going to do justice to what Bluebird actually fully has to offer. But it has been quite a while since my last Bluebird video. I'm not counting the aesthetic of Love Life Bluebird. That was more like a more personal video, just talk about the aesthetic and stuff like that, you know, the vibes. But technically, it's actually been 4 months since my last Bluebird video covering over like the whole, my file name for the project file was actually, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the file name was called Bluebird Content Spread because the main gist of the video was talking about Bluebird's content and how a lot of people didn't see it as, you know, enough for them compared to other groups. But you know, I went to that video. You can disagree if you want, but they're only 1 year old, man. Oh yeah, speaking of that, Bluebird is in fact 1 year old. They just turned 1 year old like a couple days ago, I'm pretty sure, because, well, their announcement came at the Love Life Asia tour, so technically that's when they were announced, but the project didn't really get started until like, I forgot, March, April, I forgot what month it was. I can put up here on screen. But I do think now is probably the perfect time to make this video because since it's been a year, there's been a lot that's happened. And even though I'm probably not able to cover all of it in just one video, I do want to cover like the whole major things, the things that I feel are incredibly important. Like obviously I'm not going to talk about, you know, like for example, I'm not going to tell you about the adventures of Noriko and Aurora unless you're really deep into the characters, then you care about that. But since I'm suspecting that some of you guys watching this video may not have the best idea of Bluebird, I'm going to cover mostly, you know, surface level shit that anyone can really get invested to. But if you are a Bluebird fan, then most of what I'm saying may be just like reiterating shit that you've probably heard before or have seen before and probably witnessed it real time, since, you know, this project is still doing shit as I'm speaking right now. I do actually have a list of notes here that I'm going to be talking about in the video, but one thing I do want to quickly mention is that I'm only going to briefly mention the plot. I know the plot has been, I wouldn't say controversial, but definitely one of the things that usually gets Bluebird up on the radar of, you know, general Love Life fans. Chun Sensei with Atori, Tonokizaka with how run down it's been. Those types of discussions and events definitely raise some eyebrows for certain Love Life fans. You know, they're connecting to the past. Oh my goodness, what does that mean? What does it mean? Well, we don't know. And I don't want to use this as like a place to speculate because it could easily be outdated by the time I release this video. Bluebird at its core is a very character-centric series as of right now. Of course, that direction could change as the series goes along, but the big I wouldn't say selling point, the gimmick of Bluebird, I wouldn't say it's a selling point, but the gimmick of Bluebird is the tweets for each of the individual characters. You can follow each of these characters in their own personal lives, get a gist of what I'm gonna use Mai here, because Mai's probably my favorite. Sorry, Shion, you're getting demoted. But you get to see these people's personal lives. And we can see little bits and I like to call it glimpses of their lives, since, you know, they tweet just like we do in real life, you know, social media and all that stuff. So we don't really get to see what goes on, the intricacies, the detailed parts of their lives, but we do get to see little moments of them that they get to talk about. They get to vent about their thoughts. They get to talk about their minds and stuff in a more direct manner, more realistic manner. I mean, obviously, we have different methods of showing that, you know, show don't tell don't show, but for something like this, tell don't show is literally the only way you can do this. So it does allow for a lot more direct thoughts on their mindset and their personalities. Obviously, when it comes to a series that has multiple main characters, some people may not click with certain characters. That's unfortunately the same for me. While I do like most of the Bluebird cast, the only one I've really been following is Mai, for multiple reasons. I remember one of my friends saying my hair looked like Mai one time, and I haven't let that go since. It's been stuck in my mind. And the fact she actually grew up with Minecraft and Scratch, unfortunately makes me have to follow her. I have to follow her now. Like, I'm sorry, it's the rules. It does help that she has some of the most funniest tweets because of her personality. She's very you know, you can read this and be like, huh, she's definitely the type of person to side-eye people. Oh yeah, I do want to bring up this website because this website is really useful for catching up with Bluebird if you don't like the Twitter aesthetic, which I completely understand. I fucking hate Twitter, but this website is really amazing. Shouts to the people who made it. I'm gonna put their things on screen here, the socials, type shit. This website is really good for streamlining the tweets because some of the tweets are more character centric. Talk about I wonder about life sometimes. While some of them are actually plot centric and really important to the plot. So you have stuff like this where it talks about major events, pick up topics, stuff like that. Just it gives you the TLDR, which is what this says right there. Wow, that's amazing. I feel like it's stupid now. But this is definitely a way to follow Bluebird if you are not a big fan of the whole Twitter aesthetic here. Maybe one day I'll make a video on Shun Sensei, Tonokizaka, and how people reacted to it, because when that shit happened on Twitter, a lot of people had thoughts. I heard some thoughts coming from the Japanese side of the fan base, where I'm not gonna generalize. I only heard it from word of mouth, but apparently they get sort of heated regarding not changing the past, but disrespecting the past of Love Life. But I have certain thoughts about that, but this is not the video for that. This is simply catching up on Bluebird and what they've been doing. Yeah. Now, the first thing I want to start off are these amazing chapters. Now, these chapters were a part of Love Life Days, and these serialized projects betray the Ikizu Live members' true selves, showing sides they rarely reveal, bringing stories that touch their inner world. Thank you, whoever wrote that on Manga Decks. You did you did way better than how I could describe it. But basically, these are sort of the opposite to the tweets, because the tweets are, in immersion, they're actually typing that shit in real time. But with these stories, we actually get to see more internal thoughts. Let me see if I can't zoom in shit. Okay, let me just zoom in here. But with these stories, we get to see more of their internal thoughts, things they don't type out loud, things they don't say out loud. It's a more internal way of tell, don't show. And these chapters are really fucking good. Firstly, I love the art. I love the art. And of course, these are all written by Sakura Kokimi now, OG creator of Love Life type shit. And I do think she does a really good job at writing a ton of these characters' mindsets and internal thoughts. First, this art is really good. That's the one thing I do want to praise it for. It's really good, and I do really like how much of a yap session it is. And I mean that in a good way. There's a lot of text in Bluebird, and it makes you wonder if they're tweeting this much out loud, what do you think they're fucking saying inside themselves? Stuff like that. If they're already doing this much outside, what do you think is going on there? And I think this little mini series really does expand on that way more. It definitely tells me there's a lot of potential in a Bluebird story like this, because a lot of the elements of Bluebird that I really enjoy are spliced in here and there. The whole what is my life message and tone. I do occasionally see it sprinkled into the series, but if it came to an animated series or a music video perhaps, I feel I could dive into those elements a lot more in a way that I feel that I can make a video essay on without it sounding weird. But yeah, shout out to these guys. And there are two more chapters of this. They have one for Mai. This one's pretty good. I think my favorite one is probably Akira though. Akira's probably one of my favorites. First, this art is fucking hard. This goes hard as shit. But this one is really good. This one is probably my favorite of the chapters we've gotten so far. We're gonna be getting one for Hanabi soon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if you definitely want to see Bluebird in different light, I definitely recommend reading these, because these are written to be written. These are written as an actual I don't know, it's written like an actual mini story instead of tweets, stuff like that. As much as I do love Bluebird's way of just telling its story, sometimes it comes off as just, oh yeah, this happened. Yeah. But with these stories, you get actually a lot more build up, a lot more, I don't know, it just feels formal. That's the one I want to say, like an actual story. And it's just really good. It's just really good. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, because I haven't really seen many people discuss it besides in the Bluebird space, but the art's really good, the story's really good, and I definitely do feel like it shows the potential of Bluebird that I hope is captivated in a different form, form of multimedia. That's like the one thing. This is a hard ass pose right here. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about is the voting elements. So we're gonna start off with the costumes right here. So a lot of Bluebird stuff has been voted on. Their costumes, the songs they covered. What else? What else did they cover? Drug Free Romance. What you got? The cover unit names. Yeah, cover unit names. I completely forgot about that. Although they're not actual subunit names. They're cover unit. It's weird. It's weird. It's not like it's like temporary. I'm pretty sure, right? For the uniforms, we actually got them. I'm pretty sure we already got them in, well, we got the official looking ones right here. Yeah, a month ago, we did actually get the whole art right here. But in the Love Life days, you get more, you know, cooler art. And I just want to say, I absolutely love the designs. It's right, that's not, where is it? It looks so formal, and I especially love the way it adapts to every single character. Like, she's still wearing a fucking kimono, but it still has the same exact color palette and the same emblem. You still have Shion for a fuck-ass jacket, but it doesn't look out of place at all. It's really cool. Some got long sleeves, some got short sleeves, some got some rolling up their sleeves, some got, is that overalls? No, what do you call that shit? And I just love how simple it is. There's only a couple colors here and there. It's not overly complex, not overly too in your face. It's one thing I really appreciate about Bluebird. Its art style, it's very simplistic in a lot of ways. Okay, well, I'll use this image instead. When we got to look at the What Is My Life outfits, I really loved how simple they looked. Those just solid colors. Just, it's looked really simple in a very good way. That's like one of the best things I can praise about it, and I'm glad the uniforms followed suit in probably the best way possible. These are really good, and I especially love the color palette. I don't know if I praised the color palette Blue before, but the color palette is genuinely one of the best things about the series. And it may not be Love Life, but I don't give a shit. I'm open to change, but it's really good. And I guess I can show you the fucking cover unit name, because this got trending a little Twitter for a little bit of how fucking absurd these names are. Alright, we got Chaki, and then we got fucking Minority. Minority, which is probably the funniest fucking name I've ever heard in my entire life. Yes, my group name is Minority. That's literally how you fucking pronounce it. There's literally no other way you pronounce that. Also, I somehow forgot Plumina. I actually don't know how. I'm perplexed myself. And then we finally have Shion. Yeah, here's the one. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Shion, for the cover unit ones, Shion's by herself. So that's, a lot of people had a lot of speculations of how it's gonna go. How the fuck do you have a subunit by yourself? Wouldn't that just be a solo song, since they've already been doing that? And I think it worked out. You know, it's experimental, and Shion in the lore is already pretty separate from the others, so it sort of makes sense for that to happen. But you know, it's cover unit. It's not actual full subunit yet. But what's the other goes? You know, real-time stuff. But anyway, talk about the covers real quickly. I talked about some of these in the Love Life aesthetic video. First, the best one here is Fortune Cookie, obviously. This is probably the best one. Firstly, it's Fortune Cookie by AKB48. And also, it's just really good. It's really fun. It's really entertaining. And I wish it got on Spotify, because this is actually a song I would play, but we just can't have good things, unfortunately. Then we got UFO by Minority, probably the funniest one. Pretty entertaining. They're just covers, you know, just to showcase the not actors, the seiyuu sing range, stuff like that, since, you know, singing covers different songs require you to really, you know, adapt your voice to what is required, and you definitely see it with Shion here, which I'll get to in a little bit. But then we got this one. I forgot this one. It was the anime opening to. I'm gonna put it up here because I know what the anime is. Thank you, Venet6063. Thank you. But also, you can tell they have a bunch of fun editing the music videos. I know the music videos, the people who edit the music videos are pretty separate. You know, they're usually commissioned. They're like, you know, freelance or stuff like that, which I've seen a lot with how Love Life does music videos. Yukari looks amazing, by the way. Just know she's currently mogging out everyone right now. And then we have Shion right here. The solo Shion. I still think it's fuck. They unironically gave her the hardest fucking music video though. Unironically, I don't know what they were thinking doing that, but they actually gave her the most they genuinely gave her the most crazy ass But these songs definitely do showcase, you know, what these singers are capable of. What these, I don't know, I keep mixing up seiyus and singers. What these seiyus are capable of. That's what I want to say. I want to say that's what they're fully capable of. And we got a bunch of other videos, stuff like that, you know, the whole radio broadcast. We got the new song right there. We got a lot of songs actually. And the one thing I do want to introduce are the solo songs that all the characters had. You guys probably seen them. I'm pretty sure I did talk about it. I think I talked about it 4 months ago. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hope I did. Hopefully I did. But anyway, they all have a B single as well. I'm not sure if any of you guys know about that. I'm pretty sure you guys should know about that, since that's what typically happens with a Love Life single. You got the main one that gets the most attention, you know, gets the anime music videos, stuff like that. And you got the little side one. You got One Time Password. And then you have, I can't read the fucking this song's good. I'm not really a music channel because 1, I'll get copyrighted instantly, and 2, I'm a video editor, not a song producer, so I can't really say, you know, the beats and tones and the bass used for this is like absolutely miraculously. Usually artists don't really try to do that, so the fact that this song did that and managed to execute extremely well is amazing. I can't do that. I'm speaking out my ass. So the most I can say is all these are pretty good. But you know, it's okay if we all have different tastes and stuff. We all have different goals and what we want from certain songs and stuff. That's my cop-out answer. Please don't kill me. I do want to focus a little bit on the Love Life Days issue, because this issue was focused on Bluebird. We got the full, okay, that's the Layla. We got the full sprites of the Bluebird gang. Okay, Ikizu Live, Bluebird. I mix the two a lot, sorry. Anyway, you got the full outfits here with the full PNG glory. You know, crop them out. You know what to do. You know what to do the whole like make them transparent, stuff like that. Anyway, the full set right there, and they still managed to capture every single one of the characters', you know, visual traits, which is really cool. We got the days of Bluebird showing some of their tweet highlights here. Got a lot of messages here, along with the Love Life chibi things they usually see. Although it's very weird to see fucking Twitter tweets in the but it's cool how we get to see like actual some visualizations of what the gang's been doing. I don't know what Shion's doing here, but then we got some full Love Life art of the What Is My Life outfits right here. And we got the story of Hanabi, which should be getting translated soon. But you know, time will only tell. And then we got the What Is My Life information, which is the whole reason why I'm making this video, FYI. The first live's coming out, and I feel like it'd be a good time to, you know, make another video on it, especially with this new format that I'm doing. You know, I'm saving video essays for more bigger topics, so stuff like this, I can actually make it at like a without missing the deadline, you know. If I would make a video essay, it'd probably come out after the first live, which is not what I want to do. I do want to get out before, just, you know, get myself caught up, sort of, just, you know, sort of, you know, yeah. I think this one is the kanji that each of the seiyus chose and the reason why for it. Fortunately, I don't have the translations on me, but I did see it in the Discord, so if you do want to get more information on that, you can check that one out. And then we have this one right here, showing about all the support illustrations and messages created by fans of the Love Life Bluebird series. Akin to, you know, when the live streams, when they have, like, you know, the art in the background, when they have, like, you know, art, fan art in the background when they're speaking, stuff like that. This is really cool. Actually, let me see, do I recognize any artists here? I was hoping I can see one of my mutuals that I usually see on Twitter, but it is kind of small, so maybe I'll see it in a bit bigger resolution. Is there anything else I'm missing about on Bluebird? One big thing I forgot to mention were the fan messages that are currently being used for the first live promotion. I made the connection during recording, but I didn't really get a chance to say it directly, but Bluebird is sort of like the next generation of Nijigasaki in a lot of ways. If you watch my Nijigasaki videos, you probably know exactly what I mean, but I'll probably save that for a video essay topic later on, but it's definitely got me a lot more attached to Bluebird with that mindset in mind. I think I covered most of it. I mean, I don't want to cover too much of the plot, because that's one thing I'm holding off on. A lot of stuff is character-centric stuff. Like, do you really want me to talk? I could talk about I could talk about, you know, go in depth, you know, act like a news channel, being like, guys, today my Azubu tweeted out this. What does it mean? She just indirectly talked about Polka. Does that? Or is there some beef going on? What does that mean? But you know, that's more you know, individual character stuff, which unfortunately I don't really know how to explain that in a very captivating way, since it requires like a bunch of context information about who the characters are and their relationships. which requires you to already have some context of who the characters are. So I'll have future Noodle add some extra information just in case I forget anything, because I'm very likely to forget things, especially if groups that I'm not too familiar with. Yeah, that's if you want to catch up on Bluebird, or you want to see me catch up on Bluebird and sort of give my thoughts on it, then this is what Bluebird's been up to. All this is building up to the first live. It's been past a year now since the group was officially teased, and I gave a grace period for them in my Bluebird content spread video, saying that after a year, that's when I'll start questioning the direction that Bluebird's been taking. But as you can see from what I've been talking about in the videos, they've all in this video, they're clearly planting bricks right now, and I definitely do have faith that they're gonna be using those bricks for something. The story potential. Again, I'm talking about, if you really want to see the potential of what Bluebird can convey, I need you guys to read the episodes of these characters, because they do an amazing job at. I don't know. I don't want to say it makes me angry, but definitely makes me like, I wish we got more of this. It's unfortunate that we only get it via Love Life days. We gotta wait we gotta wait a while for it. So that's just one thing I'm definitely keeping my eyes out for in terms of Bluebird. But they're definitely planting a lot of bricks in terms of like the plot and how it's connected to the overall world of Love Life. Muse and Aqua, Tonikizaka, stuff like that. Again, I know it's a very important thing and something that a lot of people know Bluebird for, Chun Sensei, the past elements of Love Life, but I definitely do want to keep that separate. I just want to talk about Bluebird. I don't want to really try bringing in other elements of Love Life, because I do think one of the core parts of Bluebird is just the characters and stuff like that, since the whole message of the group, at least how I interpret the Blue group is, the what is my life thing. We all remember that teaser, and even though some people think it's been diluted over time, I do feel like there's still traces of that element that I think could be really captivated here. So that's the only thing I want to focus on. Maybe in the future, when it's a bit more on the ground, everything's getting set off, that's what I'll start talking about. The plot of Bluebird. What happened after Muse? Put a red circle, put a honk surprise face, put a Tonikizaka, but then start adding Photoshop, making it black and white and destroying some things. That's what I'm gonna do. But the first live is definitely gonna be something to keep your eye out for. And the one thing I do want to mention is that the first live, the day one of the first live, is going to be streaming live on YouTube for free, and also Bilibili, in case you live in different regions and Bilibili is your primary video platform. Unfortunately, day 2 is going to be paid streaming. It's going to be around 6,000 yen. I recommend using E+ for it. I actually use E+ for when I used to watch Nijigasaki stream. They find it. I do recommend watching day 1 though, just to get a sort of good feel of what Bluebird's been up to and what they can do, what they're capable of, and maybe you might find a good song that you're like, oh shit, I didn't hear about this song before. What the hell? Anyway, this is my E+ thing. It was only 30. Wow, it was kind of cheap. Damn. 3,529 yen. I'm pretty sure the Bluebird one is like 6,000 yen, dude. That's a lot. That's like double the price. Goddamn. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. Please do keep an eye out for Bluebird in the future. I mean, stuff's gonna happen. Keep your eye out, guys. I'm giving you a little warning prophecy. People think it's gonna be an anime. People think it might be, something more different. But the one thing I will say though is definitely what's gonna happen at the end of the first live is gonna dictate what direction Bluebird is taking. Is it gonna keep going the same direction it's been doing right now, or is it going to evolve? Is it gonna take the next step? Is it gonna use the bricks that's placing? What are they gonna do? That is my biggest curiosity about this series so far, because like I said, I enjoy a lot of aspects of the series, but I want to see it come together. That's my personal thing. I've been following it slowly from the background. I lurk in the Discord. I see what goes on, and I've got a bit more. I hold back from holding some thoughts, because with a series like this, it's sometimes not good to. I'm not gonna say that. Okay, it's not good to say thoughts that could easily be changed in like a span of milliseconds. So that's like the one thing I want to keep in mind. So anyway, if you enjoyed, please like, comment your thoughts on Bluebird, and subscribe if you haven't. Do Love Life videos. You probably know that though. But yeah, that's definitely the one thing I want to keep in mind. Yeah, Bluebird. It's definitely such a unique series. It keeps intriguing me, and I really want to see where it goes. Maybe I can watch the video in a couple months later, and I can either be completely outdated, or I can be like, damn, I was prophesizing the fuck out, stuff like that. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.